This will not be a normal Mile Y video. Normally, for those of you who are new, hi, my name is Chris Crawford. Normally, what we do is we say the score of the game, we say what the Mariners' record is, and what has happened in the series. Then we go over the scoring place, and if they win, we talk about the things we didn't like, but end with the positive. And when they lose, we start with, well, there was some good, but here's the reason why we're concerned, right? I don't have that in me. I don't have that in me. I don't know why this particular loss is kicking my so much, but it is. This is as down as I have felt about a loss in a long time. And look, I went on that old website last night and I said, when you consider the starting pitching matchup, when you consider how late it is in the year, when you consider the fact that the Detroit Tigers are not a good baseball team, when you consider all that stuff, I thought that last night was the worst loss of the year. And some of you argued with me and said, no, it's got to be one of the Angels' losses that week. Well, here's why I disagree. Because one of those Angels losses, or the last one, I think, the sweep, I think was the final nail in the head to saying we have to finalize the Randy Arozarena trade. And the fact that there's a player to be named later in that trade kind of validates that thought. So at the very least, yeah, it stunk to get swept by the Angels, but something good came out of that. Something positive came out of that. What positive is coming out of last night's loss? And now, what positive is coming out of tonight's loss? Because there's no more trades. You can't make this team better now. You can scour the waiver wire. You can see if Albert Pujols wants to sign with you. You could see if Harry Ford or Cole Young is ready to play. You can do stuff like that. You can't make any more trades, though. These last two losses are awful. Unacceptable. And I'll be honest with you. I started recording, and the first one, I got about 3 minutes in, and I just made a couple of bumbling mistakes, and I said, nope, you got to start over. I don't have an edit button. I don't do that. And then the second one, I just started going off on what the heck is the point of any of this, right? That's when you know a loss is bad. When you start to wonder what the point is. And hey, I'm saying this about a team that is still only a half game out of first place, a half game behind. They haven't won a division in a very long time. The last time they won a division, I was 18 years old. Okay? Look at this face. Okay? Time, right? So I should be, and yet and I just don't know. You know, one of my least favorite running gags, I guess is the term, is that people who like to say that the Mariners are cursed, right? The Mariners are cursed because you see, number one, that they've never won a World Series. They've never gone to a World Series. You see that they had some of the all-time greatest players in baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the best center fielders of all time. Alex Rodriguez is one of the best shortstops of all time. Randy Johnson is one of maybe the greatest left-handed pitcher of all time. They had those guys in their prime. You can argue Randy's prime was a little later than everybody else's because he was even better with the Diamondbacks after than he was with Seattle, which is insane. They had, in my opinion, and it's a little biased, the greatest designated hitter of all time. They've had some unbelievably great players and still haven't been able to do anything. And on top of that, they have picked up some unbelievably great players, and those players have gone on to stink with Seattle, go on to play for other teams, and do pretty darn well. But I still hate the cursed thing, right? Like the Mariners' faults are not because of some curse. They're their faults because they just haven't been a good enough organization. But then I watched the eighth inning tonight, and I watched Randy Rosarina double to right on a terrific piece of hitting. Unbelievably good. Pitch right on the outside corner that he just smashes into the right field, against the wall in right field. Unbelievably good piece of hitting. Sometimes people say, what a nifty piece of hitting because they just go the opposite way. And, it's fine. It's just like how every announcer calls every bunt a beauty. But no, this was unbelievably good hitting from Randy Rosarina. So there's a runner on second base, 2 outs, and Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh, comes to the plate and scorches a ball to center field. Scorches it. It looks like it's heading out. And Parker Meadows leaps up and says, "Your hopes and dreams mean nothing to me." And at that moment, I kind of wondered, huh, maybe I'm just never going to see greatness with this team. And greatness isn't fair. I've seen great. I saw a Mariner team win 116 games that same year. A long time ago, but I saw it. I saw greatness with Griffey and A-Rod and Edgar and Randy and Felix and Ichiro. But I guess I'm just wondering if I'm ever going to see that ultimate goal. And I don't know why tonight's play specifically is making me feel that way. It's a great catch. Unbelievable catch. Credit to Parker Meadows. And I loved his enthusiasm after making that catch. Kind of hated it at the moment, but then, you appreciate it. I can appreciate a play like that. But there was something also about it that just made me go, oh, this is impossible. It's just never going to happen. So what's the point? If I know that they can't do this, why care? And I know the answer. It's because I'm number one, I love the sport. It's my favorite sport. It's not even close. And I love other sports, but I love this sport more than any other sport. Number two, geography. I was born in Tacoma, moved to Lacey very shortly after. Lived in Lacey for 20, long time. Moved, came back to Washington. So yeah, geography. I don't know if there's a third, but those two reasons are why I love this team and why I will always want this team to do well. Well, no, here's the third reason. My grandma. My grandma. My grandma who watches every game. Who That's not true. She can't watch the Apple TV ones. We've tried, it just doesn't work. So she watches the overwhelming majority of the games. And her happiness means more to me than anything. And it's why I get so bummed out that when I watch games like tonight, I wonder if I'm ever going to see her get the chance to win a World Series. And it's not because of her age. It's because I wonder if this team it just isn't meant to do that. And before any of you say, Chris, you're an idiot, number one, welcome to the club. Number two, I know I'm being irrational. I'm recording this video almost literally moments after that loss. I haven't planned any of this out. I haven't written anything down. I forgot to do my ad read, but there's a link in the description for Simply Seattle. And they're awesome. I know I'm being silly, but you watched tonight. You watched tonight and you watched last night, and you tell me you don't feel that a little bit. And if you don't feel that, number one, that's totally fine. Number two, help me out. Because how do you do it? If you really are a Seattle Mariner fan and games like last night and tonight don't just bum the you know what out of you, how do you do it? Might have to watch this one back and see if it's even usable, but man, that catch. Such a great catch, but such a just a clear, like borderline the picture you'd see in the dictionary next to baseball teams that just may not ever get it. Live chat tomorrow, 6:40 for MyOY enthusiasts, 4.99. Would appreciate it. 4.99 a month. You get that and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm really struggling to promote this when I'm struggling to think of what the point of any of this is. A loss on August 7th to the Detroit Tigers on a Wednesday has me questioning everything. It's kind of impressive, Seattle Mariners. It's kind of impressive. Thanks for watching.